Hi, this is Edward Troxel. Today we're going to start talking about extensions or custom commands. A custom command or an extension is very similar to a script in that we will code them pretty much exactly the same way. The same code will work, except there are some exceptions that we have to take into account. But otherwise, the code is exactly the same. The good thing about an extension is that it can stay running all the time, whereas a script you have to start it, let it do its thing, and then it has to be closed before you can do anything else in Vegas. Let's take a quick look and see what some of these differences are. So if we start Vegas, we will see that the extensions are automatically started each time Vegas is also started. So if the extension was open when you close Vegas, it will be reopened the next time you open Vegas. Extensions can also be added to the docking area. So if we wanted to grab this here, we can actually move it around and position it in the docking area wherever we want it. We can also pull it out of the docking area so that it could be its own window, or if we could dock it in any window we want it docked in. So if we wanted it docked over here instead, we could go ahead and dock it in with the preview window and the trimmer, so it can be docked anywhere we want it to be docked. So we can move it around wherever we like. If we wanted it to be free floating, we could also leave it free floating as well. And of course they can be resized as desired. So now let's go ahead and add it back to the dock here. Custom commands can actually be found in 3 different locations. If we go to Edit, we will see that there is an extensions menu that has no extensions right now on my machine. But we could create an extension that went under Edit Extensions. Under View, we also have extensions, which you can see I have several extensions listed here. So if I added one of these other ones and then exited Vegas and then reopened it, it would be open automatically upon restarting Vegas. And then the third place is under Tools. We also have an extensions folder. Generally speaking, if there is going to be a window that goes along with the extension, then it should probably go under View. I have not personally yet seen any custom commands that are listed under Edit. I created Autosave to be listed under Tools because it's more of a tool, but you can go to Extensions and Autosave and it will open up the window so that you can change the parameters for it. But it does not have a window that stays open all the time to just use it. It just operates in the background. So that's one of the big differences between a script and an extension. The extension can stay running all the time. We can come in here, we can add clips to the timeline while the extension is still running. So Excalibur is still running in the background. And we can come back over here to Excalibur. We could say use the select events tool and it's going to select everything after the cursor, and we can do that. Then we could come over here, use the select events tool again, and it's like that. We can move these around individually. If we wanted to create markers, we could come down here, place a marker on each event, click on select. And here's one of the cool features of an extension. Now when I come up here to the undo list, notice it says create markers. So if I do undo this one, it will undo the create markers. Then it will undo the move. It will and undo the next move. And then notice the next one was select events. So if I undo that, now this event is no longer selected. So we can actually give names to each of the different undo items in the undo list. And so if I selected all these items, let's just select everything to the end on this one track, and I go to gap overlap. Say I want to overlap them all by 1 second. We do this. Now all of these are overlapped by 1 second. And if we look at the undo list, notice gap overlap is the name of the undo item. When we run a script, it does not work that way. So if we went to Tools, Scripting, and ran any of these at all, so let's pick one of these and just say Tools, Scripting, and we're going to do stereo to mono. Now it has run that script and it has separated this into two separate items that are both mono. If we go to the undo list, notice it says run script. Now if we come over here and we go to the audio tab, and with this one selected, I can do a stereo split. Notice this one is split. Actually, it did all of them on the track. And when we come up here, you'll notice it says stereo split. So when you're running a script, you just get a generic run script undo item. And then we set this up so that when you click on one of these, we can specify exactly what it was doing that we want to undo. So if we wanted to undo the stereo split, we can just undo that, and now the stereo split is undone. As you can see, there are many advantages to using a custom command because you can modify the timeline while it's still running, and it can actually get information about your project so that you can see what's going on while the project is running. So for example, let me pull up the FBC with Assisted Edit script. It says that the length is 1 minute and 15 seconds and 28 frames long. So if it's actually looking at track number 3 to see what the length is. So if we look right here, it says it is 1, 15, 28, and so it is automatically picking this up from the project. But if I move this, notice the time up here is moving as well. So when I move this event, the time up above is also moving. If I come down here, let's come down here, let's just take this one and drop it to track 3. Now you'll see that it says it's at 4 minutes and 1 frame. If I click right here, we're at 4 minutes and 1 frame. So it can actually watch while you're doing things in the project and change information displayed in real time as you move items. So as you can see, custom commands can be very powerful and are much more flexible than just a script in that it can stay running all the time, does not interfere with you changing the timeline, and is always instantly available when you want to use any of the commands. In the following tutorials, we will learn how to actually create the custom command and see what it takes to make all of this work the way we want it to work, including showing the undo option and the other restrictions that are necessary when creating one of these. Please sign up at www.jettv.com and subscribe on YouTube to get further notifications on when new videos are presented.